and gentlemen, spacewalking is an extremely difficult and dangerous task. Even a small mistake can lead to fatal accidents. But this is part of life for astronauts on the International Space Station ISS. So far, no private crew has ever conducted a spacewalk. However, recently, billionaire Isacman performed the first spacewalk as a member of a private crew. The flight was eagerly awaited and cheered by many fans worldwide. If successful, this mission will open a new horizon where ordinary people can walk in space. However, the billionaire's spacewalk has received mixed opinions. Some disappointed people argue that the billionaire and crew did not truly walk in space. So, what is the truth of this story? Let's explore together. Whenever an astronaut leaves the vehicle in space, it is called a spacewalk. Spacewalking is also understood as extravehicular activity, abbreviated as EVA. Spacewalking is considered extremely dangerous and complex. Astronauts must wear bulky, heavy spacesuits and step out of the spacecraft with a cable attached to the spacecraft to avoid drifting away. While spacewalking, they risk facing a series of lurking dangers, such as cosmic radiation, space debris, micrometeoroids, and other unexpected incidents. In the zero-gravity environment at 400 kilometers altitude, even a small oversight could cost an astronaut their life. In 2013, Luca Parmitano, an Italian astronaut, nearly lost his life during his first spacewalk due to a technical fault that filled his helmet with water, almost drowning him in his spacesuit. Besides the danger and complexity, the ticket to board a spacecraft is also extremely expensive. Therefore, until now, only government astronauts, trained for years, have conducted spacewalks. No individual or private organization has ever participated in this difficult and dangerous work. But Isacman is not an ordinary person. He is a tech billionaire and an American pilot with a special passion for space. As of September 2024, this man born in 1983 owns a net worth of up to $1.9 billion. In 2021, he funded the first private space travel mission. By February 2022, 5 months after completing the first private space travel, he decided to fund SpaceX with a huge amount to make the dream of spacewalking a reality. The mission, called Polaris Dawn, was initially planned for launch in late 2022. But a series of difficulties and challenges in designing the spacesuit, along with complex space techniques, caused the mission's launch to be postponed. After multiple delays, at 16:23 on September 10, 2024, the Polaris Dawn mission lifted off on SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket from Launch Complex 39A at NASA's Kennedy Space Center. The 4 astronauts in the mission include billionaire Isacman, 41 years old, leading the mission as commander. Responsible for main spacecraft operational, Scott Poteet, 50 years old, a retired Air Force fighter pilot, serving as spacecraft pilot, assisting Isacman in spacecraft operations. Sarah Gillis, 30 years old, a SpaceX employee, as mission specialist. And finally, Anna Menon, 38 years old, also a SpaceX employee, as onboard medical specialist. In the first hour after launch, the crew conducted a thorough inspection of the Dragon capsule to check for any damage related to the launch. They also began pre-breathing protocols to reduce nitrogen in their bodies and minimize the risk of decompression sickness during the spacewalk. Subsequently, the thrusters fired to push the spacecraft to the highest point in the mission. about 1,400 kilometers from Earth. Setting a record, it became the spacecraft flying to the farthest position from Earth, compared to any crewed spacecraft ever conducted since the Apollo program. By the second day, the spacecraft gradually descended to an altitude of 730 kilometers. The crew prepared the EVA spacesuits and conducted experiments on cosmic radiation as well as human health in space. The third day was the most important day of the mission, dedicated to the spacewalk activity. After thorough preparation, all 4 crew members wore spacesuits. This is the image of 4 smiling astronauts in their protective suits before starting the mission's most challenging task. With these suits, they were supplied with oxygen to breathe throughout the spacewalk. Because the Crew-Dragon spacecraft lacks an airlock, the entire cabin was depressurized during the spacewalk, exposing all crew members to the vacuum of space. However, only 2 astronauts actually partially exited the spacecraft. The first to exit the spacecraft was Mission Commander, Billionaire Isacman. He opened the hatch and extended his upper body out into space, while using SpaceX's Skywalker mobile platform with both hands, to ensure his safety while floating in the vacuum of space. Live viewers were extremely excited to see Isacman emerge from the spacecraft cabin. The billionaire stood on a ladder and exclaimed, "Absolutely beautiful when looking at the spectacular view of Earth below." He further shared, "When we return home, we all have a lot of work to do. But from here, Earth looks like a perfect world." He returned to the cabin after 7 minutes and 56 seconds of viewing Earth from space. Next, it was SpaceX engineer Sarah Gillis, 30, who performed the spacewalk. She had 7 minutes and 15 seconds in space to test a series of maneuvers, checking mobility capabilities in the spacesuit before returning to the spacecraft. As for Ms. Menon and Mr. Potice inside the spacecraft, while the other 2 performed the spacewalk. The spacewalk concluded successfully. The total spacewalk time for the mission was 33 minutes and 25 seconds. Meanwhile, if counting from the start of depressurization to the end, it was about 1 hour and 46 minutes. The spacewalk was expected to last only about 30 minutes. But the preparation procedures took longer than expected, making the entire mission last nearly 2 hours. SpaceX wrote on social media X that the Polaris Dawn spacewalk had been completed, marking the first time private astronauts completed a spacewalk from a commercial spacecraft. NASA Director Bill Nelson also shared his joy on X. Today's success becomes a breakthrough step for the commercial space industry, and NASA's long-term goal is to build a vibrant space economy for America. Although praised as successful, some people expressed regret, even disappointment on social media. Many expressed that the mission was boring and not worthy of being called a spacewalk. On social media X, a dissatisfied space fan wrote, "Stop fiddling with the ladder and start doing a real spacewalk. Wait, why are you hanging down?" Because the 2 astronauts, including billionaire Isacman, didn't actually step out of the spacecraft, instead only partially extending their bodies out. If the 2 astronauts could detach from the spacecraft body and actually walk in space, perhaps the mission would be more convincing and impressive. Nevertheless, the spacewalk achieved its main objectives, such as conducting about 40 experiments on cosmic radiation and the effects of spaceflight on human health, testing the flexibility of the new spacesuit. And they also tested the Starlink laser-based communication system by posting a photo on social media X. A video of Sarah Willis playing the horn was also transmitted back to Earth. The crew is scheduled to land in the Gulf of Mexico on September 15, 2024. Nothing is more inspiring than a spacewalk. Realistic photos always bring wonderful inspiration to us on Earth. From the first spacewalk in 1965 to now.
There are now 720 spacewalks on the International Space Station ISS.
And 16 spacewalks by Chinese astronauts on the Tiangong space station. Although this is the first private spacewalk and not as perfect as expected, it is clearly a tremendous effort, a great leap forward for humanity. From spacewalks like this, the future will witness more impressive spacewalks conducted by the private sector.